Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Pirates, Bands of Misfits. This is a donation movie reaction, a reward for Venom0027. And I know very little, next to nothing about this film. I know that, I guess when it came out, I saw commercials for it and stuff. I was not interested. But since then, there's been like this one recurring meme I've seen online. It's I, I might be paraphrasing a little bit. I don't know if this is exactly how it goes, but it's the, well, yes, but actually no kind of thing. I've seen it used in a lot of different ways, but it's actually one of those memes I tend to enjoy, which is rare for me because I'm not a big meme person. And I've kind of been interested in checking this out, but just never have gotten around to it. It's just there's always been other stuff that's, I guess you could say, taken priority for me. So, yeah, all I know about this is it's Sony, I believe, as one of the Sony Pictures animation films, and it's about pirates, and that's basically it. I don't know, like, how accurate to pirate tales and stuff this is. I don't know. Probably not much, honestly. I don't know, like, what the characters are. I don't even know who voices in this because I just never really paid much attention to it. But today we are going to check this out. So, yeah. I'm interested to see what we got in store for this one. Again, it's something I've kind of been interested in checking out, but not really super hyped for. It's not one of those films that it's like, oh, I really want to see this. I just never got around to. It's like, I kind of wanted to check it out, but I never got around to it. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to like it. I have no freaking idea because I have no idea what the movie's like. It just means that I legitimately am clueless on what I'm going to think about this. I could end up liking it, I could end up not. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what the movie has in store because I've heard people do like it. I've even heard some people call it underrated. Like, basically referring to it as an underrated gem, even. But, I mean, my tastes aren't always the same as everyone's, so it's just going to depend on what I think of it. I feel like it's probably going to be a comedic movie, at least to a good degree. Maybe have a bit of action in there too, because pirates. And considering it's a Sony Pictures animation film, there's probably going to be some kind of heart to it as well that's going to really grasp onto us. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. We'll have to see. We'll have to find out. So, let's do so. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I had to look it up because I was a little confused that the line from the meme wasn't in the movie. And I found out that the meme is actually a combination of a couple of things. Apparently, when the DVD and Blu-ray was released for this film, there was a short that was attached to it, where Pirate Captain is basically teaching you how to be a pirate and stuff. He's talking to someone off camera, and he's like, do you know how, like, I got my beard so luxurious or something like that? And the other guy's like, he just yells out, shouting. And he says, good guess, but actually no. And I guess someone had misheard it as, well, yes, but actually no. And they put it on with a screenshot from another part of the film, and that's how the meme was born. So the actual line isn't in the film. It comes from a short attached to the DVD Blu-ray. Um, so I just wanted to discuss that right off the bat, because I was actually waiting for that moment because it's one of the only things I knew about the film. So now let's actually talk about my thoughts. So what did I think of Pirates Band of Misfits? It was good. I don't have any major complaints with it, but at the same time, I wouldn't like hail it as anything special. There was a lot of good humor. There was a lot of fun moments. A lot of ridiculousness that I enjoyed. It was enjoyable for sure, and the voice actors all did a fantastic job. But it never really became something special for me. It never became anything spectacular or amazing or really that unique. That was one thing I noticed in the film. It wasn't that unique. Like, even just the main focus and theme of the movie is something you've seen a million times before. Like, you have a character who wants some kind of prize or recognition, something that gets them, famous or something. They want this kind of big, like, grand recognition. And so they end up selling out to get it, but end up in the end realizing they were wrong and working to fix their mistakes. And it's like we've seen this kind of thing before, even down to the point where the character loses everything that they had because of their actions. It's nothing new. And a lot of the jokes, a lot of the ideas isn't even really new either. It's kind of stuff we've seen before. Like even the girl pretending to be a guy and blending in with this group of guys is like we've seen that so many times before, all the time. And I wouldn't even say it's one of those cases where it's done so well I can just look past it. I don't I don't really consider it like a major issue, but at the same time, it doesn't really do any favors to this film, and this movie doesn't really do it well enough to make it really work. But again, I'm not saying I don't like the film or that it's bad because of it. It's not. It's pretty good. But that's about all it is, just pretty good. The definite highlight was the voice acting. The voice actors had a blast with this. You could tell that they really enjoyed the roles that they were performing, and it had some really good names in it too. There's also some fun music with London Calling and a song by Flight of the Conchords. I'm Not Crying, I believe it was. Um, the music fit the scenes very well. The type of music didn't because of the time period and everything. But a lot of movies have done that. And some movies straight up use that as a parody. Like there are some movies that are parodies that use the idea of bringing in music that is so out of the time period that that's actually the joke, and it's really good. A great example of that is A Knight's Tale, using songs like "We Will Rock You." um, if you haven't seen A Knight's Tale, by the way, with Heath Ledger and Paul Bettany and so many other amazing actors in it, watch it. Alan Tudyk's in it. A Knight's Tale is really fantastic. And honestly, in my opinion, it's Paul Bettany's best role and one of Heath Ledger's for sure. Um, Mark Addy's in it too. You would know him from Game of Thrones. I believe his character was named Robert Baratheon. He was the king in the first season. The king who was friends with God, what is his name? I, I I never really got huge into Game of Thrones, but Anyways, I'm getting off topic. um, there are some jokes that I wish would have landed a little better, though, in this film. And the big one for me on that is the joke about the girl in the group. I like the idea of the joke, but it has to actually have a conclusion to it with them finding out. I kind of get what they were going for with, like, at the end, Pirate Captain uh asking number two, like, you're not a girl in disguise, right? And then you see her react over in the back on the other side, and it's like, I get what they were going for there, and it was kind of funny, but I feel like that joke needed a resolution to really land. Because I get the idea behind it with, like, the time period and everything, but they also showed that there was another pirate captain, a rival pirate captain, who was pretty well known and pretty high up there, a legitimate frontrunner for the Pirate of the Year award, who was a woman. So the idea that she even needed to pretend to be a guy made very little sense to me. So I feel like it would have been better if maybe, like, in the at the very end, like maybe when they're raiding Queen Elizabeth's ship and all, maybe there was a scene where she's found out, even if just by the crew, not even by Pirate Captain himself, even if just by the crew, maybe they find out, and she explains, like, very briefly why she did it, but it's like some kind of offhanded comment, like it's not even really a big deal. That would have been funny, and it would have given resolution to the joke. It would have made it work. As it is, it just feels kind of weird and out of place. Um, it's not like outright bad or offensive or anything. It's just not well handled, in my opinion. Um, the entire thing about Charles Darwin in this being shown as, like, this nerdy punching bag type character who just wants to get a girl and everything, it's like, I don't know enough about Charles Darwin in real life to say if any of that has any basis in reality. Um, but for the purpose of this film, it was okay. I think the punching bag character thing is just outplayed at this point, but I mean, it's an older movie, I guess. So, when did this come out exactly? Do I still have the page up? I had the page up, but I don't think I do anymore. I'm not sure when this actually came out. Let me check real quick. 2012. Okay, so this came out in 2012. But yeah, this is also Peter Lord. I don't think is the Lord and Miller guy. Like I said, I was wrong about that. But either way, um, even by that point, it's like that kind of thing was outplayed. It's just, it doesn't really work anymore as a joke. Well, like, having a movie where the comedy doesn't center around that, and having one character who's just a punching bag the entire time, the butt of the jokes, or a physical punching bag, or even both, it's not the kind of humor that really fits in this day and age. If you have an entire movie centered around slapstick like that, then that works, because that's the entire film. That's what the movie centers on. But when that's the only piece of that example, I worded that terribly. When that's the only example of that type of humor in the film, when nothing else really fits with that kind of humor, it comes across as really just out of place and unfitting. It doesn't work, in my opinion. It's again, it's not a case where it's bad or anything. It's just, it doesn't work. Um, I like some other jokes in this film, like the one female pirate cat. I don't remember her name, but, like, the entire joke about, oh, am I still as deadly as I am beautiful, and she, like, stabs some dude at that point. And then later in the film, you see her stab the other captain when she loses and all. It's like, it's a good, like, bring back that joke, a good idea to work with that. Um, And the entire recurring joke about them being masters of disguise and then their disguise is honestly not being that good. The scientist one was a little better, but the Girl Scouts, it's like, why would you even choose that? Of all of all disguises, like the scientist one, like that makes sense, but why Girl Scouts? Like you could come up with anything else. I mean, it somehow worked, but it was still funny. I enjoyed it. And again, the characters were charming. I liked the characters, especially Pirate Captain. Like for being such a generic ass character, like literally the point, literally the joke that he's a generic ass character, or at least he's trying to be. He's trying to be a generic ass pirate captain. I actually think that worked as a joke. In fact, I think that worked just for the entire crew and idea, really, that they were trying to be these generic run of the mill pirates, but they were just so ridiculous and goofy that they just couldn't land it. I actually think that worked. Another good joke that really landed for me was the cue cards with Mr. Bobo. I actually really liked that. And I was so confused by it too, because he always had the exact cue cards he needed to say exactly what he needed to at that moment. And it's like that makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. It does not work, but it works. It somehow is really fucking funny. And there's certain points specifically, like when he falls and the cue cards read ah like A-H and everything, and it's like they're falling too, and you see them spell it out. It's like that was so good. Um, the when we found out where he was hiding Paulie, having it be in his beard, it's like it did not occur to me because his beard just didn't seem big enough. Um, but it kind of made me think of the entire joke about inside Chuck Norris's beard is just another fist, and it instantly just clicked in my mind as funny. Um, so there was a lot of humor in this film I did like, and again, the characters were charming. They and the voice actors really sold the film for me. Um, the stop motion animation was actually really good here. It felt a little choppy at the very beginning, but then it really excelled for the rest of the film. I thought it was very well handled. It's not like on the level of Wallace and Gromit where you have to have the characters and the story pull the film because the animation's not that great. The stop motion's not that great in Wallace and Gromit, but it's not quite on the level of something like Coraline or Kubo and the Two Strings, where it's just like, oh, this is Leica animation, and they are just masters of this. It's good. It's really good, but it's not Leica good. But it was really good, and I did definitely enjoy it. Again, I liked the music. I liked even though it was very generic, I liked a lot of the story to it. Just how it went and the story beats and the pacing and everything. It felt like it worked, even if it was again generic as hell. In terms of its plot, in terms of its general plot and themes and everything. It's like you could see where it was going for the most part. Didn't quite see the entire eating the exotic animals thing, but I just generally wouldn't think about that. So, yeah. Oh, excuse me. So, all in all, I liked this film. I did. I thought it was pretty darn good, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't anything special. I feel like there's a lot of good to it, but it just misses the bar of being something truly like great, of being something that I really loved. And sometimes movies do that. Sometimes that happens. So not really much to be surprised by. And again, I went into this not knowing pretty much anything, so a lot of it did um, work for me and everything. And again, I liked it a lot more than I necessarily expected to because I didn't really expect much, not knowing anything. Um, And I enjoyed it. So I think it was definitely worth the watch. So I want to thank Venom0027 once again for choosing this as your donation reward. And we've got more movies to come from various different donators. So keep it, uh, keep prepared for those to come in the coming weeks, including one that's actually very long and intimidates me. And for the person who donated it, you know who you are and you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I've seen movies longer than it, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe it's just because of what the movie is that it intimidates me. But again, I'll keep that as a secret for now. Um, but if anyone wishes to donate at any point in the future, or whatnot, remember to just say so. I can give you any details you might need for PayPal. And no matter how much you donate, you get a donation reward. You can have me react to a movie, a series, basically whatever you want, as long as I haven't seen it. Um, and we can work that out. We can talk that out in the comments or whatever. And only do so if you feel you can and want to. It is not required. It is just something for fun to kind of get you guys involved in this. And admittedly, it does help a lot with my financial situation, just in general. I use it sometimes for food, sometimes for just some positive, fun stuff. Things like that. It just depends on what I need at the moment. But again, it's completely optional. You don't have to. Um, More reactions will always be coming. Um, so either way, either way, tell me what you thought in the comments below about Pirates Band of Misfits. And thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.